Welcome to another Gaz Right video. Welcome back to the BEA, beautiful Bali, and this one is about to be a banger, heavily requested. Ultimately, what does it cost to come to Bali in 2024? Because it's not as cheap as people make out online. Me and Em have exploring Canggu, Ubud and Uluwatu for the last 5 weeks. So I've got a really good insight that I can share with you on accommodation, transport, beaches, beach clubs, a few freebies, food, drinks, coffees, and of course the gyms. So if you're on a rig like this, you better tune in. If you enjoy what you see, hit the subscribe button down below. Let's get cooking, baby. Kicking things off with transport, when you land in Bali, it is absolute pandemonium. So my advice would be to definitely pre-book a taxi, have someone waiting and just have all that stress taken off your shoulders. If you pre-book a taxi, it's usually between about £8 and £12, similar price to if you do a Grab upon arrival. We had quite a few issues booking a Grab from the airport. Apart from the airport, it's absolutely fine, but they kind of take your booking and then wait until a higher booking comes out. So my advice, pre-book something. In terms of getting around, once you're in Bali, I would say it's super easy if you're in Canggu, Uluwatu and Ubud. If you do head across to Lombok, it's a little bit more difficult with Grab. Bikes are going to cost you about £100 to £150 for the entire month, or if you get the kind of Gojek drivers to drive you in and around Canggu, Ubud, Uluwatu, you're probably looking at about 40 to 60p per journey. Or if you go for a taxi, it's £2.40. We've been on the taxis the whole time, just from a safety and ease perspective. I would say if you've never driven a moped before, the hardest place to drive would be in Canggu. It is absolute carnage. You're going to be straight in the mixer. So yeah, I would say maybe try the other ones first, build up a bit of the old confidence, and then once you get to Canggu, you will be absolutely fine. Next up is, of course, accommodation. You're going to want somewhere nice to rest, recuperate, get your head down after a busy day. We've had a big mixture of accommodations. We've been in Bali for 2 months, 2.5 weeks with Neens and Shady, legends of the scene. So obviously when my mum and dad were here, we were staying in our own private villas, a lot more spacious, a lot more luxurious. You can make Bali as cheap or as expensive as you kind of want. This was in Uluwatu. This is probably my favorite of all the villas we stayed in. This was like an inside, outside villa. So all the communal space is outside, and then the 2 bedrooms are in their own kind of little buildings with really nice bathrooms and stuff as well. You're looking at £40 per person per night to stay in one of these, and yeah, it was £38 per person to stay in this villa in Ubud. I would say Ubud especially, do you know what I mean, is a big difference on the outside pools. As you can see that it looks super flare, but you are looking at a brick wall, and you do have the kind of trees up and around you, but the inside of this place was absolutely next level. All the vlogs I've done have full tours of me kind of talking through the pros and cons on these, but again, it's like anything in life, you get what you pay for. These look like bed sofas, next level, but yeah, £38 per person per night with 4 people sharing. It goes like saying, if you're looking to budget travel, this is not going to be the one for you, but if you want a little bit of luxury, they literally had baths that we could fully lie down in. This is our shared villa in Canggu. This is actually a 4-bed, so it's a £40 per person per night for 4 people, but if you obviously came here with 4 couples, you could get this down to £20 a night. So yeah, silly pool, but the inside was left a little bit to be desired. But yeah, if you have 8 people in here, £20 each night, genuinely, you cannot complain at that. However, if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option, I would go in a private room somewhere. But you know me, I'm a little bit of a bougie backpacker. So we've stayed in a lot of very similar places like this, where you have your own private room, you have your own private bathroom, and then there's a shared pool as well. You're looking at between £9 and £12 per person per night, depending on what time of year you ultimately go. I think these are the perfect things to do in Bali. You're spending a lot of time out exploring, going to beaches, going to different things in Ubud for the day. You're going to like the water temples. You're out in the evening. So I don't think it's as necessary to have a super luxurious accommodation. Obviously, when my mum and dad were here, it made a bit more sense because we had a lot of time just chilling by the pool, catching up, seeing what they're up to, having a few beer worries at the villa itself. Whereas if you're just as a couple, I would definitely do this. We've not stayed in any hostels over the last 6 months of traveling, but again, if you wanted to save even more money, you could probably drop that down to like £5, £6, £7 a night to do that. But I think just for an extra few quid more to stay in your own private room, and these pools, do you know what I mean, once somebody's in there, no one else is delving in. So yeah, accommodation boxed off. On to the old beaches. So everyone you kind of chat to will think Bali, golden sand beaches. That's not the case everywhere. There's a big disparity. in the beaches out there. So this is in Canggu, where I'd say most people would likely come to and likely see. So I would say here, I'm going to do a close-up in a second where you'll see the beach in a lot more detail. It is a nice beach, but like I say, the sand I wouldn't say is nice. It's more like a black sand beach, a lot more similar to Rainers Fair. This is the place to come to, definitely if you want to do some surfing. Here or Uluwatu, I guess. But yeah, silly for surfing. Beach, not as nice. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, a little bit smelly at parts. But the good thing is about the old beach waris is they're all free. Well, I say that, they're all free in Canggu. Uluwatu, slightly different, but the beach is massive here. You can walk all the way down to Seminyak. Super nice. In the distance, if you've got a keen eye, you can look across to Uluwatu, which is a little bit different. I think the beaches you're going to see in a second in Uluwatu are absolutely beautiful. So Uluwatu in general is just a lot quieter than Canggu, a lot more relaxed, a lot more slow pace of life. The beaches here, what you would normally consider a holiday beach, or I kind of do being from the UK, where you've got those golden sands, you've got those beautiful turquoise waters. The sea does go out during the afternoon, so as you can kind of see on that left-hand side there, that you can walk out across all that during the late afternoons. If you enjoy your swimming, if you enjoy your dipping, I would say definitely go in the morning. All these places you can stay all day. This is Padang Beach, and you need to pay 50 pence to go on there, so it's absolutely silly value. Just pay a little guy at the top, but do watch out. There's crazy amount of monkeys over there. Thomas Beach in Uluwatu is a free beach to go onto, but if you want a sun lounger, if you want a bed, if you want a little bit more relaxed recuperation whilst you're chilling, then again you're gonna have to pay for that. It worked out £2 per person for the entire day. Super comfy beds off the old ground, big thick cushion to sort out us legends with the sore lower back. I would personally say this wasn't my favourite beach, but I cover that in my Uluwatu vlog itself. Now we're in the mixer, where the bloody magic happens, Beach Club Warinans. If you're only going to go to one, Finn's Beach Club, all of them I would say very similar-ish price. So if you book a bed, whether you're in VIP or not, so you can get in for free. So if you want to go and just spend as little money as possible, go in for free and then you just buy drinks, but you don't really have a space to sit, chill, relax, and have as a base for the day. Me and Em, we paid for VIP, which is 3.6 million, worked out about £87 per person, but that is for a 6-person bed. But this is the best thing about Bali. Whatever you pay for the bed, you get all that money back as a bar tab. So that was obviously a ridiculous amount for both of us to spend, and they do like 2-for-1 cocktails, shots, all that kind of good stuff on the house as well. But you will get through that money in the day. Definitely if there's 4 of you, but if there's 2 of you, you can put a few beers away. I would do so, because if you don't pay for a bed, you're kind of just in the mixer over here, which is fine. But if you're going to go, do you know what I mean, 10 a.m. to 10, 11, 12 p.m. at night, that's a long time just to be milling about, sat in a pool. You'll be shriveled up like a little shrimp wari. So yeah, for me, it's definitely worth paying the money up front and getting that locked in ahead of time. Otherwise, yeah, you will be you'll end up spending similar money anyway, just chilling there for the whole day. The cocktails here are really well priced. It's about £6.80, £7 for most cocktails. I was on the Guinness Smooths, which are about £3.50, £3.75. And if you do book in the old VIP, you get this little private pool. There's tunes flowing. There's loads of free shots, silly amounts of atmosphere. And for a beach club, yeah, the pricing in Finns is unbelievable. You're looking at about, I'd say about £8-10 for food, which, do you know what I mean, if anyone's been to Ocean Beach and stuff like that in Ibiza, you'll be getting your absolute pants pulled down. They do all this fire show and stuff included in the evening. This is across the whole place, but obviously yeah, you've got Neens and Shady. Chuck in a few shapes. I would personally say just pay a little bit extra, stay in the VIP, but yeah, do be warned, do avoid these 2 absolute buffoons. Look at these dance moves. Outrageous bit of kit. And Shady, you don't lose that. Look at this. The fireworks coming in. Too easy for him. Right, on to the food. You need to fuel up and you need to get some goodness in the old system. I would say the quality of food in Bali, in Canggu, in Uluwatu, in Ubud is absolutely phenomenal. You can eat out pretty cheap. I don't really eat any local places. I'm severely allergic to nuts and peanuts. So if you do want to go for a really budget option, I would, yeah, go to the local places. Some of them smell absolutely banging, but obviously I don't want to risk it. I'd say brunch items, you're probably looking at between £3 and £7.50, £8, depending on how big it is and stuff like that. This place, the Avocado Factory, is banging. These little bagels, bacon, egg, cheese bagels, you're looking at about £2.50. Silly bit of kit. And obviously you can grab that one on the go. There's a few places in Canggu especially that I'd say 100% you need to go to if you are coming here. This is one of them. Copenhagen. You can either pick 3 or 5 items to make your kind of like box, make your tray up, and you're looking at about £7 for that. And obviously if you want a nice iced coffee on top, I'd say coffee is very similar price to the UK, to be honest. It's kind of like £2.50 is roughly the price you're looking at. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but yeah, the service of food in Copenhagen, next level. All the fresh seafood, so if you go anywhere where they're doing like sashimi, tuna, salmon, is really well priced. A nice lunch out like this, again, is going to set you back about £8. Obviously, if you order like an extra protein on the side, whether it's the tuna, whether it's the salmon, whether it's, do you know what I mean, a chicken breast, that'll add up slightly, but it's still ridiculous value. And the meals out at night, again, you can go to bougie places, you can go to kind of more mid-price places, is what I class this place as. Loca, which is, yeah, you're looking at about £2, £2.50. Yeah, for the big nachos, and then it's about £2 per taco as well. So yeah, silly value. And places like Lola's do like Taco Tuesdays. They do free taco with every cocktail on a Thursday as well. So there's different venues where you can save yourself some money. Sushiku here, ridiculous. Like all this food worked out at like £9, which is unbelievable. Like that sashimi, it was 50p per piece of sashimi, and it was super thick. So yeah, if you're gonna get any food like that, I would always stick to tuna, slightly cheaper than salmon out here. But yeah, silly options, silly vibes, and yeah, everyone in Indonesia, if you've not been here, you'll come to realize they're unbelievably friendly. So that adds to the excitement. And me and Em had been traveling 4 months when we got here, so the fact that we could find a Sunday roast at the barn, again, this is going to be one of the more expensive meals. I think that's just a combination of the meats, the cuts, the food that you get. I got double meat with like chicken and pork, and on the old lamb shank, extra Yorkshire pudding. It's just absolutely ridiculous combinations of flavours. Full meal here with a drink is going to set you back £11-12. So again, if you're trying to budget travel, this isn't the spot for you, but every now and again it's nice just to treat yourself to a few of the old home comforts. This place in Uluwatu, absolutely ridiculous behaviour. We're looking at £7.50 per person with drinks included. Ridiculous value. I'm going to touch a little bit on obviously the alcohol front, but yeah, bintangs, again, if you're trying to save money, are the way to go. You're looking at like £1, £2, maximum like £3 for a bintang if you're getting that in a beach club and stuff. But yeah, for me, stick to the cocktails, stick to the bintangs, and treat yourself where needed. Sayan House in Ubud was phenomenal. So I class this as a bit more of like an upmarket place. Beautiful backdrop of the view in the jungle behind, and yeah, the combination of flavours. Shady on the katsu curry. I was on the pork ribs. Ridiculous. Were they pork? Were they? I'm not really sure. They were absolutely banging anyway. Watch the meat just glide off. This is a place where you can look at like £15 per person, but as we said before, you get what you pay for in life. The combinations of flavours and quality here was absolutely unbelievable, and this is the top recommendation I would have for anyone coming to Bali, is go to Mason's. There's one in Canggu and one in Uluwatu. Silly food. The chicken, the pork, Neves was on a tuna number, the asparagus with the parmesan, unbelievable, and again, really well priced. So you're probably looking at about, I'd say £12 to £15 per person for your meal here, depending on, I mean, how many sides you get. Are you drinking water? Are you drinking beers? But yeah, ridiculous behaviour. And this place, Brie Cheesery and Restaurant in Ubud, phenomenal. Chimichurri chicken, ridiculous flavours. This one was a little bit more, that's because everyone was on the old vino in the evening. I would say wine is probably the one of the more expensive things to drink here, so either get on the bintans, get on the beers, or stick to the cocktails. Wine does seem to add up quite quickly. One of the other beach clubs that we went to, we headed over to Luna. So I wouldn't recommend coming here because I just thought overall the service was really bad. The music was pretty terrible, but it's good to discuss prices, good to discuss options. Slightly cheaper than Finn's. You're probably looking at about £70 per person to go here. They had huge beds, as you can see, for chilling. They're meant to be up to 6 people, but me and Em running the show as a little two ball, as always. But yeah, I would say this was money not well spent. I don't mind spending a lot of money. Like if you go to Fins and you're spending £80, £90, but the service is amazing, and you get that luxury feel. The drinks are on point. It's super, super quick. I would get yourself over there. It's a little bit further out as well. You're probably looking at 20-25 minute taxi out of the centre of Canggu, and this. It'd only set you back about £5. So the taxis to get around are absolutely ridiculous value. Just make sure you download Grab ahead of time and get all that locked in. That's going to sort you out if you want a little coffee delivered in the morning, or if you want to get in and around the city centre, whether that's on taxis, whether it's on Gojeks, whatever it may be, they're going to be able to sort you out. And then the final beach club that we went to was a place called Atlas. This worked out at £84.50 per person for the entire day. Again, I keep saying this, but we were doing it as a 2. If you do it as a 4, that's half the price, but it means you get half the amount of drinks. The only thing Atlas didn't have, they did have like drinks packages throughout the day, so it was really, really cheap if you wanted to drink beers. So it worked out about £3 for one of the Guinness cans or Bintang cans for myself, but they didn't have the kind of 2-for-1 offers that Fins does between 7 and 9, which as you're flying through the cocktails, do you know what I mean? They soon add up when you're paying £8, £9, £10 a cocktail, whereas yeah, at Fins it was like £7, £8 a cocktail, and then bang, happy hour 7 till 9, so you're talking £4 a cocktail with the quick maths from G-Dubs. So yeah, the beach clubs are the highlight for me. Get yourself to Atlas and get yourself to Fins. You will not regret it. However, if you are coming here for a little bit longer term, or you don't drink and you're looking for which gym to go to, the gyms I would say are the only thing that is more expensive than the UK, but you get what you pay for. I've never been in gyms like it. This little place at the Wrong Gym, the Zen Garden at the back, they've all got like the ice, the rest, recovery. It's just a ridiculous vibe. It is £20 a day pass at the Wrong Gym, and it only works out cheaper if you like a week pass if you go for 5 days or more. So I would say it is on the steeper side, but as you can kind of see from the equipment, the setup, and this is like the little Hyrox area on the roof, like pull-ups, all the bars, everything. It's unbelievable. For someone who enjoys beers as much as me, I've been spending a hell of a lot of money on day passes over there. And all the best gyms here have like these recovery areas where, yeah, you can get in the ice baths, you can get in the saunas, you can get absolutely flexed up out of your mind. And again, the longer that you do as a gym pass, goes without saying, the more the price comes down. So if you're going to do 2 weeks or if you're going to do a month, then I just lock this in early doors. Well worth it. If you want something a little bit more economical, get yourself over to Obsidian. I would personally say this is the best actual gym in terms of equipment and facilities, what they've got in terms of here in Canggu. £10 a day pass, you can go come back, which is pretty good, what we did on one of the days. And they do have a really flare outside space, so you can get a little bit of a tan, shout out the boys, and swim a few lengths in the old pool. The only reason I think Obsidian isn't as good as the Wrong Gym, I just think that Zen Garden outside and kind of the people that you engage with at the Wrong Gym are a little bit better, but I've been to the Wrong Gym more, so tell me I'm wrong in the comments. Uluwatu is the exact same. This is the only gym you want to go to. It's absolutely ridiculous, the biggest one, most space, and it is £10 for a day pass to get in there. I would just check here when there are classes, because this is like the main area of the gym, and when there's classes on, do you know what I mean, everything is kind of, well, to be honest, I went there twice when it was like that, and everything was in use. Not sure who I thought it was here, doing a little collab with the boy Sam, getting the old rigatoni out and on show. And then the final gym, if you're looking for a lot more budget friendly one, go to Power and Revive. In Canggu, they do really good offers here, so it works out like £3.50 per day on a 2-week membership. Again, if you do a month one, that brings the price down even more. But yeah, overall, absolutely ridiculous place. Nothing but good words to say about Bali. I think the main point that I kind of say to people about Bali is not cheap, but it's amazing value for money. So it's not a place like Southeast Asia, like all the countries like Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, but what you get for the price you pay is absolutely sensational. The people here, the food, the drinks, the service, honestly, cannot speak highly enough. Unbelievable. thus far. If you enjoy what you see, I've got daily vlogs that have gone live all about Bali, Canggu, Uluwatu. Check those out on the channel down below. Country by country breakdown of our exact spending coming out in about 2 weeks' time. Questions in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and remember, baby, the chef is always cooking.